Suppose that we're given the inequality 2x is less than 12 is less than 3x. To solve this inequality, we cannot use the method that we met in the last video. Why not? Well, because the methods of manipulation we met in the last video are not going to be able to help us to get x by itself in the middle in our solution. When we meet an inequality that looks like this, we need to use a more complicated technique. As our first step, we'll split up the two inequalities and solve them separately. So we have 2x is less than 12, and we have 12 is less than 3x. So let's see. The inequality on the left, I want to multiply both sides by a half, and I'll get x is less than 6. The inequality on the right, I want to multiply both sides by a third, and I'll get 4 is less than x. Okay. Then as our next step, this seems like a lot of words, but it's not a lot of work. Our next step is to write the two inequalities so that they point in the same direction. Some sort of multiplying by a negative number on both sides might have changed that as we were working on the problem. We write the two inequalities so they point in the same direction, and at that point one of them should have the x on the left, and the other one should have the x on the right. If that doesn't happen, something was wrong with the inequality that you started with, and you need to apply more sophisticated techniques. And you'll meet those more sophisticated techniques in your next math class. This should not happen right now. Okay, once we've done that, we want to splice the two inequalities together at the x. So we have 4 is less than x, and we have x is less than 6. Right. So 4 is less than x, and x is less than 6. Both of the inequalities that we found are combined in this inequality. Let me show you another example. Let's say we want to solve the inequality x minus 5 is less than 2x plus 1, which is less than 9. So we see that we have x's in more than one place, so we do need to split this up. We've got x minus 5 is less than 2x plus 1, and we have 2x plus 1 is less than 9. Let's see. On the left we have a decision to make. I'm going to choose to put the x's on the left. So I'll have negative x plus negative 5 is less than 1. Now I'll add positive 5 to both sides. Negative x is less than 6. Multiply both sides by negative 1, and notice that that reverses the inequality, and we get x is greater than negative 6. Over here, we'll add negative 1 to both sides. 2x is less than 8. We'll multiply both sides by a half, and we'll get x is less than 4. Okay, so I notice I have inequalities that point in opposite directions. I could choose to get both of them pointing to the left, or both of them pointing to the right. I'm going to choose to get them pointing to the left, just because that's what I saw in my original inequality. So my x is greater than 6. I want to rewrite that using the less than symbol. When I reverse the inequality symbol, I need to keep the negative 6 on the pointy end and the x on the wide end. So I have negative 6 is less than x. My x is less than 4 stays the same, so that now these two inequality symbols point in the same direction. And when I do that, I have an x on the right, I have an x on the left. I put these together at the x, so I have negative 6 is less than x, and I have x is less than 4.